something I think lots of people will be happy to hear. The federal court just overturned Ottawa's single-use plastic ban. Thank God the federal court overturned Canada's ban on single-use plastics on Thursday, determining the policy unreasonable and unconstitutional. The decision found that the classification of plastics in the cabinet order was too broad to be listed on the list of toxic substances in Schedule 1, and the government acted outside of its authority. There is no reasonable apprehension that all listed plastics manufactured are harmful. The decision has essentially quashed a cabinet order that listed plastics, manufactured items such as plastic bags, straws, and takeout containers as toxic under the Canadian Environmental Protection Act. So this is obviously just categorical good news. Usually these plastics are byproducts of petroleum industries anyways, and they're used for incredibly good purposes. I, for one, though, am one of the people who am ardently in favor of plastic straws, and I'm sick of drinking things and having the straw fall apart. And I know there's people out there that are like, it's just a straw. What's the big deal? No, it's not just a straw. It's a symbol of what we're willing to concede to the other side. And it's utterly incoherent. Listen, not that long ago, we switched from paper bags to plastic because we were cutting down too many trees. And then now we're switching back. Whatever, no. But where they're bags, they work. I prefer plastic, whatever. But straws, a cardboard straw does not work. It's categorically wrong. It's an affront against human decency. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here, but only just barely. And the fact that we accepted that and people discounted it and went along with it, it's one of the symptoms of this sort of progressive madness. But stand up, fight for your straws. And I for one, am glad to see that the court is doing the right thing on this. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it reminds me of the article, and I'm just trying to pull it up here. Well, I found one from CTV News Vancouver, but it found essentially that paper straws are even more toxic than plastic straws because they disintegrate, and you're essentially drinking. I mean, not essentially, you are drinking the straw by the end of your drink. I also vehemently oppose and hate. I will use the word. I hate paper straws. Whenever a takeout window tries to give me a paper straw, I say, "Oh yeah, thanks anyway." I actually keep plastic straws in a bag and also in my vehicle because that is how much I hate paper straws. But I think that this ruling comes a little too late. We see it's very rare to find plastic straws, plastic forks, what have you, in fast food restaurants these days. I think there are a select few, and primarily Burger King, Burger King and Dairy Queen, which I believe are US owned. Those are the only places I can think of that still have plastic straws. But even the wooden forks it's a texture thing. When you try to eat off of a wooden, it's just gross. And I completely agree with your stance and your point there that we switched from paper to plastic to save the trees. And now I guess we don't have to save the trees anymore. It all just doesn't make sense. But of course, radical Minister Stephen Guilbeault is not going out without a fight. He had a statement posted on X, formerly Twitter, yesterday. He's the Minister of Environment and Climate Change Canada. We can't forget that. He says Canadians have been loud and clear that they want action to keep plastic out of our environment. I don't know that is factual. So maybe some more misinformation from the very government who wants to quell all misinformation and regulate the internet. But nonetheless, of course, as we saw with COVID-19, the science is clear. Plastic pollution is everywhere in our environment, harming wildlife and their habitats. There's also a growing body of evidence showing impacts on human health. We strongly believe in taking action to tackle this crisis and keep millions of garbage bags worth of trash off of our beaches, out of our waters, and away from nature. That's what we will keep fighting for. And the government is reviewing the federal court judgment and are strongly considering an appeal. I just see the taxpayer dollars. I just see them making it rain, taxpayer dollars here. We'll continue to work with provinces, territories, civil society, and industry to curb plastic waste and pollution. We'll have more to say on the next steps soon, of course.
Fighting for what matters, right? The real critical battles for Albertans. And and we touch on this on stream. It was particularly some of the like extra healthy bio-type straws were deemed to be the most toxic. There's also a lot of questions about lots of these, whether it be the forks or the porous nature of them. But on a fundamental level, the health impact, the mental health impact of drinking from a soggy straw is significant. I'm being a bit tongue-in-cheek there. But, you know, some of the fast food chains, and cheers to the king and queen of fast food for sticking to their guns, but other chains that I won't mention, they won't even put ice in their drinks because it'll contaminate the flavor, but then they'll have you drink it out of a soggy construction box. Like it's ridiculous. So hopefully this upholds, and hopefully the government doesn't deem that this is the thing they want to go for. I don't know anyone who's happy about these straws. It's ridiculous. And yeah, of course, Stephen Guilbeault upset about the court doing a good thing. He couldn't have anything nice. But yeah, it's hilarious. And I know even Rebecca Schultz and a number of other Albertan MPs or MLAs rather are weighing in and kind of taking some more shots about just the continued losses. They aren't just losing in the polls. They're losing on this. They're losing in the courts when it comes to blocking our journalists. It's just losses across the board for them.
And the comments on his post on X here are just, I mean, it's hilarious to read through them. You can see that Canadians, I don't know who he claims to represent there with his opening statement, that they've been loud and clear, but I think they're pretty loud and clear on X that they, for instance, Rowan says, take the loss and just go away. I mean, really, why do we need to dig our heels in now? Everyone hates paper straws. A judge has ordered it to be unconstitutional. Just please go away. That's a clip from the Rebel News Daily Roundup, which runs weekdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, and it features an array of rebels providing commentary and feedback on the newsiest news items of the day. Sometimes it's myself, Tamara Ugolini, our editor-in-chief, Sheila Gunn-Reid, and our mission specialist, David Menzies, alongside your other favorite Rebel personalities. If you join us through Rumble, you can give us what is called a Rumble rant, and through a small monetary donation, you can have your comment read on air by one of us, whether it's a tip or your opinion. We always love hearing from our viewers because without your support, we couldn't do the work that we do. So thanks for your support, and we'll see you on the Daily Roundup from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern on weekdays. See you there.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in downtown Toronto, and I got to tell you folks, next March 23rd to 30th to be precise, we are going on a Caribbean cruise. Can you imagine that? And a lot of your favorite Rebels will be there, such as Sheila Gunn-Reid. We got Alexa Lavoie, the big boss man himself, of course, he'll be there, Ezra Levant. And how about this? How about this for the cherry on the sundae? Tamara Leach, Canada's #1 freedom fighter. She'll be on that boat too. And look at the itinerary. We're going to be going to Half Moon Cay in the Bahamas, and then we're going to jazz it up in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and then there's Georgetown in the Cayman Islands, and finally Cozumel, Mexico. Can you imagine that? If you want more details in terms of getting aboard the ship, go to rebelnewscruise.com. That's rebelnewscruise.com. All the details are there, the departure dates, the costs, and you know what? This is not just a fun-filled getaway. This is a way in which Rebel News raises some revenue. Unlike the mainstream media, we don't receive a nickel of government funding, nor would we take it if ever offered. So it's win-win. Enjoy yourself in the Caribbean and Mexico, and also support your favorite online news channel. So that's rebelnewscruise.com. I hope to see you aboard.